It's a November surprise. Sit back and enjoy a recent Kim Komando Show. And if you want the Kim Komando Show as a podcast, search Kim Komando wherever you get your podcasts or sign up at getkim.com. Now, here's the show.
Oh gosh, you're not going to believe this. A hiker was lost in the Colorado mountains for more than 24 hours, and his family doesn't know what's going on, and they're saying maybe he's lost, maybe he's hurt, and so they call the search and rescue team. And then the search and rescue team, they go all out trying to find this guy, and they keep calling his cell phone number. They keep calling his cell phone number until finally somebody says, hey, you know what, we found him, he's back at his car, everything's safe. And then the search and rescue squad leader says, hey, didn't you see us calling? And he's like, there were a whole bunch of calls coming in from the same number, and I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't answer the phone. So with that, a little safety tip is that if you're overdue according to your itinerary, this is what the search and rescue team posted on Twitter, and you start getting repeated calls from an unknown number, please answer the phone. Yes. I mean, what was this guy's train of thought? I'm lost. I can't find my way back. I don't want to risk anything by talking to a telemarketer. What? Yes. I mean, seriously, his car warranty could have been in jeopardy. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, just an example of all the fun that we have here week after week as we talk about living the best digital life ever. We talk about the gadgets, the gizmos, your online security, your privacy, making money, saving money. And I'll tell you, all these digital dilemmas. I'm, of course, your beloved digital goddess, Kim Komando, here with you. And you can hear the show on over 400 top stations from coast to coast and around the globe. I love this. On American Forces Network Radio, serving more than 375,000 American servicemen and women in 175 countries and 200 ships at sea. And just a quick reminder, you can also find the Kim Komando Show streaming in your favorite radio app and streaming on demand as a podcast, as a webcast, whatever you want to do, over at getkim.com. And I'm sure you have at least a few questions about something digital I can lend a hand to. And of course, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254. Once again is the way to join us. And I'd like to thank GoodRx for helping to make this show possible. I mean, did you know that even if you have good insurance, you could still be overpaying for your prescriptions? That's right. GoodRx users know, listen to this, 80% of them have insurance and still use GoodRx. Why? Because even with insurance, there's a really good chance that GoodRx will beat your copay price. I found that out for myself. GoodRx is terrific. It instantly compares prices for your prescriptions at pharmacies in your neighborhood, and you're going to save up to 80%. Checking GoodRx, it just makes sense. Listen to this. It's free, it's easy, and it takes just a few seconds to find discounts for prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies like CVS and Kroger and Walgreens and Rite Aid, Bonds, Walmart, and more. And I checked the website. You can also use the GoodRx app, which is the #1 most downloaded medical app and one that millions of Americans use to get affordable healthcare every single month. We have tons of sponsors here on the Kim Komando Show, and they're all fabulous companies. And GoodRx is one. It's right there at the top, folks, because this is something that you cannot afford not to use. So here's a special address I want you to go to get simple, smart savings on your prescriptions. Head over to goodrx.com/Kim. Once again, that's goodrx.com/Kim. And you can kiss expensive cartridges goodbye. The Epson EcoTank printer, let me tell you, comes with this ridiculous amount of ink so you can just fill and chill. The Epson EcoTank printer is available at Best Buy, Office Depot, Staples, and at epson.com/EcoTankKim. I'll tell you, I love my Epson EcoTank printer, and you will too. Head over to epson.com/EcoTankKim. All right, let's get this party started, right? With 5 things that you need to know about tech that's happening right now. And we have to start. I know I'm tired of hearing about it too, but we have to start with Facebook. I mean, it's no longer any question that Congress is going to take action against Facebook. I mean, they're going to be talking about how these algorithms have harmed society. But this was an interesting little tidbit that I thought I would share with you. Okay, 5 years ago, Facebook gave users these additional ways to react to a post. So aside from just liking, so they added love and laughing, wow, sad, or anger. Now, Facebook's engineers discovered that whatever made people angry also led them to use Facebook more, which increased revenue. So smart. They also discovered that whatever angered people was often fake news and misinformation and sometimes just outright lies. So Facebook pushed those posts that provoked anger And it's all detailed in the Facebook papers that are all over the web. So only now that we're really learning the full story of Facebook's involvement in the January 6th attack on the Capitol, but there's still a major question that I'm wondering, like, why as Americans, why are we so angry? And why are we angry at Facebook? And what about the kids? All this is coming out too about Instagram and how they're manipulating kids and their self-image, but they claim that they can't stop the kids from joining Instagram. Well, this is really interesting to me too, that a UK startup, a small company, yes, a small company, they have developed AI using cameras that a child can look at the camera on their device and it will say with like 99% accuracy how old the child is. So, another question, if a UK startup can do this, why couldn't Facebook? I think we have to watch the money train again. Number two, some shady companies are behind some popular security cameras, and I want you to check your brands because they've been sold at Best Buy and Home Depot and, of course, online. There's Lorex, which is a subsidiary of Dawa Technology, and Ezviz, which is owned by Hikvision. Now, both companies are on the government's economic blacklist over the surveillance that they're doing in a Chinese province. So if you own cameras made by these companies, you think twice about keeping them. I mean, I know it's not always easy to find out where your tech is made, and these cameras are made obviously in China, okay? But there is a website, productfrom.com, and on that website, you can tell where nearly 83,000 products are made. So again, the two brands are Lorex and Ezviz. Number three, rather, on our news is Alexa, page the nurse. Well, here's what's going on. 2.5 years ago, this is so smart, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles had this pilot program, and Alexa with all these speakers from, of course, the Echo speakers were added to more than 100 rooms. And it does make sense because if you've ever been in the hospital taking care of somebody or yourself, you hit that call button, hit the call button, hit the call button, and not always get the most immediate response that you need. So now if you have an Echo in your hospital room, or they're also saying now in retirement communities, that we will have an Echo show that could be added and so you can drop in and then people can ask for other features like listening to music or even turn on the television. Then you can also conduct conversations with faculty staff and other residents, maintenance requests, check-ins, and announcements. And you can also play hide and seek with Alexa, but there's one part of the hospital where the voice assistant will always, always find you. That's at the ICU. That was good. All right, number four, space for when you really want to get away from it all. Okay, billionaires and rockets. It's been the theme recently. Jeff Bezos and his Blue Origin aerospace company, but they're going to be doing something else. They're going to have something beyond just quick tourist trips to the edge of space. They are going to be building a space station that would be combined, they say, with a mixed-use business park and a premier commercial destination in low Earth orbit. They're calling it the Orbital Reef. And it's going to be made up, they always have acronyms, a large integrated flexible environment, which is really nice because it's short for a life module. Living quarters covering 3 floors, a kitchen, garden, a space plane to take you back and forth from Earth. Now, you might be sitting there saying, oh gosh, Kim, this sounds really great, but I'm never going to see it in my lifetime. The plan is to deploy this thing between 2025 and 2030. Wow. Makes it sound like you're going to have all these modular habitats all taken together. But here's the thing. The orbital reef is supposed to be a little smaller than the International Space Station. And they say it can be habitable up to 10 people. That's it. There's also supposed to be like cozy little restaurants there too. And I hear that the food is, going to be out of this world, but it's going to be overshadowed by a lack of atmosphere. Thank you. And finally, number 5, a real Netflix nightmare. Okay, if you still haven't heard about Squid Game, what are you waiting for? It's kind of like Hunger Games, but it's set in Korea, where these cash-strapped contestants, they take part in children's games like red light, green light to win millions, or they die trying. So it's certainly not everybody's cup of tea, but it is Netflix's biggest series launch ever, viewed by, I don't know, I saw a number recently like 144 million folks. So, of course, it's trendy. Now, according to eachnight.com, it's a site about sleep. Google searches for the term squid dream skyrocketed 1,800% at the beginning of October. Okay, but listen to this. The search numbers for the term squid nightmare, are up almost 5,000%. I mean, granted, before October, nobody had squid nightmares. I mean, I've had bad dreams involving actual squids, but they always show up well armed. Yes. I have to tell you an interesting story. I have now ownership of my mother's car, and I called up a dealer friend of mine and I said, I'm wondering, how much it might be worth. And he told me. And then a friend of the family, I've known him for 19 years, and a friend of the show, said to me, I really like to buy that car for my wife. And I said, you know what? I think that'd be a great car. I mean, it'd be easy for your wife to get in and out of. It's got a great little hatchback. And I said, but, before I sell you the car, because you're my friend, is that I want to take it over to the Mercedes dealership and let's just do everything from, bumper to bumper, and let's make sure that everything's okay. So I do that. And then Roger, the guy at the dealership, calls me and he says, I'm sorry to tell you this, that, the car is worth about $15,000. It has 21,000 miles on it. It's a 2009. Okay. And the good news is it has low mileage, and the bad news is that it has low mileage because it wasn't driven very much. It needs a lot of work. It needs some transmission work. It needs a new differential. And I was like, this sounds like big money. And he said, yeah, it's $4,400 in repairs. I went, whoa, wow, on a $15,000 car, right? And then I said to Roger, you know what, Roger? I have Car Shield. He's like, you have Car Shield? I said, yeah, I have Car Shield. And he's like, do you know the policy number? And I'll call them for you. He calls me back and he says, guess what? Instead of $4,400 on that car, it's going to be $100. You owe us $100. I'm like, wait, what? Because I have Car Shield? And he said, yes, $100 instead of $4,400. I mean, seriously, dealing with car repairs, it's a nightmare. And you're like, oh, I mean, look at me. I mean, 1/3 of the car's value just totally gone, but not for me. Your Car Shield. I have Car Shield. I mean, Car Shield will save you thousands. It just did with me. You get to pick your favorite mechanic like I did. Car Shield's administrators take care of the rest. It's like having your own team of auto repair problem solvers. Now, plans from Car Shield even provide roadside assistance, rental coverage, and even trip reimbursement, all at no additional charge. So whether your car has 5,000 miles or like my mother's car, 21,000 miles or 150,000 miles, Car Shield has monthly coverage options to fit your budget. I'm telling you, if you have a used car, you better go get Car Shield. Get coverage today and see why Car Shield cars go farther. Visit carshield.com/Kim, special address, and you're going to save 10%. That's carshield.com/Kim. A deductible may apply. Really amazing. From $4,400 to $100 because I have Car Shield? Yes, I'm a believer. Coming up in just a few moments, speaking of your car, why you should wrap your car keys in aluminum foil. And then later on, how maybe changing your voicemail greeting can save your life. And of course, we have all of your phone calls here on this Coast to Coast broadcast of the Kim Komando Show. How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254. Once again, is the way to join us. And just a quick reminder, I read every single email that you send me through the site. So if you head over to komando.com, there's a button in the top right-hand corner that says Email Kim. Yes, I read every single one. Now, don't be thinking like you're going to be that smart aleck guy that goes, oh, well, Kim, let me see if you read every one and I'm going to go ahead and send you. No, don't do that. I don't respond. I use your questions to answer here on the show, as well as tips and content on the website. Again, that's Commando with a K, of course, KOMANDO.com. And in the top right hand corner, hit the link that says email Kim. Let's see. Paul in Portland, Maine. Hello there, Paul.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How can I help you
good.
today?
Well, congratulations first on your induction into that Hall of Fame. That's quite something.
Thank you, Paul. It's
Yeah.
it's really a humbling event. It really is. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
your kind words.
Oh, well, anyways, so yeah, my question is, excuse me, being a part-time musician, my songbook has got quite large, and my songs, of course, are on 8.5 by 11 paper that I've typed out, or sometimes downloaded them from the internet and typed and printed them out.
Okay.
But they're in a 2-inch binder, which is getting too much to carry around. So what I'd like to do is hit some kind of device, a tablet of some sort, and put these songs on there, and then in some kind of either application, app, or program. I'm not sure what it's called. So I can bring these up in alphabetical order and see what I mean, go from one song to another without carrying that book around.
So, what kind of instruments do you play?
Well, I play the guitar, fiddle, harmonica, and sing.
Wow.
And my wife plays with me. She's music, that is. She's plays percussion instruments, and she sings too.
That's awesome.
So we have a good time.
So can you sing the theme song to my show?
Oh, I don't even know. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. Never thought of it, never tried it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like, she's a lady. Whoa, whoa. Okay. You don't want me to sing. Okay. It's bad. Okay. It's bad. Okay. So since nobody wants to hear me sing, and then the ratings will go, they'll probably take away my Hall of Fame nomination if I keep singing. Is that, let's talk about this. Okay. Number one, I only want you to buy an iPad. Okay.
iPad, okay.
So buy the biggest iPad that you can afford. That's the bottom line there. Okay. Then there's an app called, the heck is it? It's called For's app. It's Fourscore. Fourscore.
Fourscore,
Yeah.
okay.
FOR, by the way, score.
Yeah.
Okay. This is amazing. It will allow you to organize all your music. You can download PDFs. You can import all the music that you want. And it will go along with you as you're playing. There's remote controls built in. You can share songs with other people. I mean, this is like the primo app. Okay. Now, there's a free version. There's a pay version. The pay version's only $10. Okay. So we're not going to get crazy with it. So again, it's called Fourscore, FOR score. I'd like to recommend like 3 different ones, but when it comes to this, there's the de facto standard, and that's this one. It's Fourscore, FOR score. It's an app. And next time you call in, Paul, I expect you to sing that Tom Jones song, She's a Lady, because I have a feeling, or do it on the fiddle, or do it on the guitar, or do it anyway. And again, thank you for your call. Stay right where you are. We're going to talk about aluminum foil and your car keys, here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, this portion of the show is brought to you by NetSuite by Oracle. The #1 cloud financial system is offering a one-of-a-kind financing program for those ready to graduate from QuickBooks to NetSuite today. Head over to netsuite.com/Kim right now. Let me give you that address. It's netsuite.com/Kim. All right, a couple of things I want to pass along before we go back to all your phone calls. And then also we have our security tip just moments away. Is that you might be wondering, like, if I ever said, you should wrap your key fobs in aluminum foil. And you'd be like, oh my gosh, is that Kim Komando putting on an aluminum foil hat now? No, 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 no. Here's the reason why. Inside your key fob, there's a tiny computer chip programmed with that unique code. Okay, if the codes match up, the car will open. So this tech has kind of some programming issues, and hackers are using this vulnerability to unlock cars and steal them. So if you want to prevent that from happening, you got a couple of options. You just wrap your key fob in aluminum foil. And then, of course, you'll have to convince all your family and friends that you didn't fall for some wacky conspiracy theory. But the tactic will prevent hackers from stealing your signal. Now, if you don't like that idea, is that you just take a box and you line it with aluminum foil, and then you put your keys in it when you're home. And then we've got more information and some other tips over at commando.com that you don't want to miss. And One thing about Amazon is that Amazon only wants you to shop on Amazon. That's no great secret. But this may be something that you don't know about. The Amazon Shopper Panel. I don't know if you've heard about this, but they ask you to upload 10 receipts from purchases that you've made elsewhere, like grocery stores or department stores or Costco or Walmart, whatever it is. And then you take surveys of your shopping habits, and you can earn, say, up to $120 a year in rewards every year rather. And so what they're saying is that Amazon says it's going to help us serve you better. Well, you know what they're doing is they're seeing what you're buying elsewhere that you're not buying from them. So that intel's worth money. In case you want to check it out, over at the website, hitkomando.com, and then there's a link that says Kim Show. We've got all the details. Joe in Omaha, Nebraska. Hello there, Joe.
Hello, Kim.
Welcome.
Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure. What's going on?
So I was wanting to pick your brain about a problem. Well, it's not a real big problem that we're having. We have a retail environment for camera sales, and in that store we also do printing for our customers. And the reason why I'm calling is we have a bit of a problem, a challenge sometimes getting images off of people's phones.
Well,
the way we have it set up right now is like for the iPhone customers, we have AirDrop. We have a computer that we can use for airdropping.
okay.
For Android customers, we typically go to our the kiosks have a program. You know, it's kind of part of the computer system that does this. Not something that it's like not a special app or anything.
Okay.
But a customer can take a picture or bring up their phone with a QR code if they have a QR code reader. Hopefully they do. Some of them don't.
Oh,
and,
dear.
If they do, then it's easy. You just click on it. They can upload. First selection is, select what photos you want. Then after they've selected the photos, they can go back in there and click on a upload button, and it will upload the photos directly to the computer that they're on, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
But the problem with both of those systems is there is a limit to how many you can do. And I've never really been able to figure out what the limit is. It's somewhere between 50 and 100, depending on
wait, before you continue, what is the purpose? Are they asking you to edit all these photos, print out the photos, make a photo book?
Mostly create items, yeah. But some people, my second question was going to be that. Some customers want me to take everything off their phone so they can put it on their hard drive or a thumb drive or whatever it's going to take.
Okay. We need to streamline you. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. We need to make your life not so complicated.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm working with people who don't really even know how to turn their phone on.
Which is frightening. Okay.
Yeah.
On so many different levels. You know what I'm talking about with privacy and security and scams and robocalls and anything else that under the sun that might be out to get them.
Yeah.
Working with individuals that aren't so savvy, it is challenging, but I can tell that you have a tremendous amount of patience, which is awesome. Okay. What I would want to do is I would want to eliminate a lot of these steps. If I were you, let me just tell you what I would do. Okay.
Okay.
I would want to eliminate a lot of steps and a lot of hand holding. Okay. And, and I would set up for my store, I'd set up maybe a Google Photos account or a Dropbox. Okay. And I would give them step-by-step instructions in a book, in a PDF, whatever it may be, they could look at it online, give them step-by-step instructions on how to do this, along with links along the way. I would also do a video tutorial and put that tutorial up on YouTube, and then tell them if they click the 3 dots, there's a transcript. So they don't have to watch the whole video. They can read along and they can do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to empower them to use that phone the way that it was intended to do, and to teach them how to drive the car. So you're not sitting in the right seat all the time, as they're going down the road. And it's going to take some time and patience, but you'll find once they do it, once that person can say yes, they do it, then they feel that satisfaction. But the way that you're doing it now, I think is going to be, it's number one, it's very time consuming, and time is money,
Right.
right?
Right. And I don't have the resources.
Yeah, and unless
personnel for that.
I was going to say, unless you can have somebody stand by the door like Apple does and say, make an appointment for the Genius Bar, and we'll spend an hour or so with you, whatever it may take, which that's not you. So,
Yeah, right.
so we've got to figure out how to take you out of minutia land, right? and make the customer take some of these steps, even if they have to come in your store and they sit down and they read it, and you have the video going on a TV, and you say, you know what, just do all this, and if you run into any problems, I'll be right here with you. And then
Yeah.
you have it in, like I said, Google Photos. You can put it in a Dropbox, and they can figure, though they will figure it out. They really will. People will figure this out. I mean, I've been doing this for so many years. I mean, I started training people on, Microsoft Word and Lotus 1-2-3. Yes, little kids, ask your parents about Lotus 1-2-3, or maybe your grandparents, depending how old your parents are. And if you give them the steps, they will take it. But you're not going to be able to grow your business if you're holding everybody's hand. And you have to be forward thinking, because if you don't innovate, you evaporate. And so I want you to make sure that this business is going to be open in 5 years. And if you're holding people's hands just to get them to print things out, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. Why don't you give it some thought, Joe? And if you have any questions afterwards, just give me a call back and we can walk through the next steps. And thank you for your call. All right, you hear me talk about new hacks, malicious downloads, clever ways to break into your system week after week. It should be obvious that you need protection. But how do you protect your system is even more important than you realize. That's why I want to tell you about Total AV, because device security is not the place to cut corners. I know there are a ton of free antivirus programs out there, and it might be convenient to use whatever trial version came with your new computer, but you should know that not all antivirus software can keep up with the latest threats. That's why I recommend and trust Total AV. Total AV's award-winning antivirus security suite offers complete protection that you can rely on, with built-in adware and ransomware and malware protection. And get this protection covers up to 5 of your or your loved one's devices under a single plan. So whether you're on Windows, a Mac, Android, or iOS, just install the easy-to-use app and you're protected. That's it. And I have your back. I negotiated an exclusive discount for you right now. Get an annual plan for only $19, but you have to go to this address, protectwithkim.com. Over 85% off the regular price. Remember, it's protectwithkim.com. $19 for those 5 devices, yours or your entire family's. Go to protectwithkim.com today. That's protectwithkim. All right, so you may be seeing some things online, and you may have heard me talk about it on our digital life hack. You may have seen it on the site about how changing your voicemail can save your life. So let's say something's happened to you. You're hiking, you're lost, your car breaks down, whatever it is, and your battery is not so high. Maybe you got 5%. Now, if you're ever in an emergency situation, you have to use your common sense, okay? You call your family, you call your friends, you text them. In some places, you can even text 911, and we have the links on the website. But there's something that maybe you hadn't thought about. If your battery is about to die on your phone, you're in an emergency situation, change your voicemail greeting and say, hi, this is where I am. This is what's going on. This is where I think I'm located. This is where I'm headed. This is the person or persons around me. Come help me. Because even when your phone dies, when somebody calls you, what do they get? They get your voicemail greeting. That's right. So we have the steps on how to change your voicemail greeting. We have the steps on how to text 911, some other good details. Just head over to komando.com, of course, with a K. That's komando.com. When you're there, hit the link that says Kim Show. All right, still to come this hour, we've got more of your great phone calls. And also, we have a smart trick to know when your phone's camera or mic is being used. And of course, you have more of me, Kim Komando. How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim.
Since our founding in 2000, we at the Center for Internet Security have always had one mission. It's to create confidence in the connected world for people, businesses, and governments. As a nonprofit, we do this by drawing upon our core competencies of collaboration and innovation. The world is changing, cyber threats are evolving, and IT resources are limited. All you want is a way to strengthen your cybersecurity programs efficiently and effectively. Let CIS help you with these efforts. We use a consensus-based process involving IT professionals from around the world to develop and maintain security best practices. These resources are proven to defend systems and data against threats, both on premises and in the cloud. We also strive to help organizations of every size and maturity strengthen their cybersecurity programs. This includes serving U.S. state, local, tribal, and territorial government organizations. At CIS, we're all about making the connected world a safer place. Visit our website to learn more.
Hey, I got to tell you about ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN protects your personal data from tech giants and ad companies. If you're like me and believe your online activity is your business, that's right, then head on over to expressvpn.com/Kim today and get an extra 3 months free. Everybody needs to be using a VPN. You can't trust the free VPNs. They sell your data. They sell you out. expressvpn.com/Kim, and you're going to get an extra 3 months free. All right, as you're sitting here listening to the Kim Komando Show, I know that you love all things digital. You love to stay up to date on everything technical. And that's why we have a podcast, Kim Komando Explains. It's not the show. We don't take calls. It's really where I delve into one particular topic. And I've changed it over the last couple of months. So it's just Kim Komando Explains every week, 20 minutes. I'm going to teach you about one particular thing. Now, this week, it's all about cyber stalking. I mean, online harassment victimizes 40% of Americans. So how do you know if you're being stalked? What can you do to prevent it? How do you control your devices? How do you do more than just change a password or reset it back to factory defaults? And when do you really need to get like a burner phone because things are getting really serious? So that's why I want you to get Kim Komando Explains, wherever you get your podcasts, Google, Apple, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, you name it. Just search for Komando with a K and make sure that you rate, you review, you follow, you subscribe to Kim Komando Explains. And back to the phones we go with Cindy in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hi there, Cindy.
Hello.
Hi. You sound frustrated.
Oh, yes, I am frustrated because of the question that I have for you.
Okay.
I have recently had problems with my battery in my car, and it has it has serious capability, the phone service, but I never subscribed to that. But I've been having batteries die on me more than is normal. And
now, wait, you're talking about the car battery, not the phone battery, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
But I'm thinking that it's my Android phone that is causing me the problem because of something I found on the internet.
And of course, you know what? If you read it on the internet, it's got to be true, right?
Yes. Although this is a website I felt I should trust, but I may be wrong.
No, that's okay. Wait, before you go on, let me just understand. So you said you blew through a couple of car batteries. You replaced one after the other?
Yes.
In the period of weeks, months, years?
Months. It started in January of this year,
Okay.
And I didn't think the battery that was in there was that old, but I don't remember prior to that. But by April, the battery was dead again. And now we're in October, and the battery is dead for the third time. And the dealership has my car right now, but they're swamped, and they won't get to it until tomorrow.
Okay.
But I had a discussion with the gentleman that I gave my keys to at the dealership, and I was trying to explain what I read on the internet about the Bluetooth in my car and the possibility that my Android phone is turning it on and the Bluetooth is draining the battery. And when I left, he was more frustrated than I am. So
Okay. Well, here's okay. Let's just backtrack just a second. Okay.
okay.
If this was happening to me, I would, number one, I would tell the dealership to make sure that they do any type of updates. How old's your car?
How old?
Yeah.
It's a 2014.
Okay. I'd tell them I'd ask them to make sure that they're doing any type of software updates that are possible in the car.
Oh.
Okay. Because they routinely, here's what happens, because I know this because it happens to me. It's like even right
Okay.
now, and I'm not on Android, and I drive a Mercedes, and I have an iPhone, okay? Even right now,
Okay.
my iPhone won't work with CarPlay because I have a brand new iPhone with a brand new operating system, and they have to update the truck's operating system for me to talk to each other. Okay, so
Oh my goodness.
so I would, number one, I'd ask, because you're getting constant updates with this Android phone, and
Okay.
it may not be talking to the car nicely. So I would ask them to look for any type of software updates that are available for the car, and
Okay.
and if they are available, we want you to go ahead and download them and to update them. Now, the other thing too that you can see if this is an issue with the Bluetooth and your phone is a simple test is you just unpair. Make sure that you unpair everything from that car. And let's just see if the battery is in fact not working nicely with the phone, or maybe there's something else going on in this car's electrical system. Because, it's not just a solitary car anymore. I mean, it's not just one unit. You have a computer on wheels, even a 2014.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not
It's a little frightening.
right.
It's a little frightening.
Exactly. But you can't just isolate that it's just this. We have to look at all the components. We want to make sure that there's no dome lights or trunk light or anything else that may be going on. My mom's car used to have an issue like this with the battery and had nothing to do other than the hatchback light that nobody would ever see because it was covered by a rug would turn on. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that we are exhausting anything possible that could be wrong with this car before we just blame it on the Android. I have a feeling that there's something else going on in this vehicle that has nothing to do with this phone. So Cindy, call me back. Let me know what you find out. And thanks for your call. Coming right back, there's a new trick to know if your phone is listening here on the Kim Komando Show. Okay, so with the arrival of iOS 14 on your iPhone, if you see a little orange dot, it means that your mic is being used. The green light means that the camera is being turned on. Now with Android, we have an app that you can use that gives you these indicator lights, and you can find the link to it free for the taking over at Komando.com. Just hit the link for Kim's show and stay right where you are. We have another hour coming up here on the West Star Multimedia Network.